evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to MPWF Annihilation, Episode 9. My name is DJ Johnny Feelgood, and ladies and gentlemen, we're here tonight live from Victoria, Texas. And welcome to the MPWF as we come off the heels of bragging rights. And later tonight, we have a huge main event as Craig David and Apollo will finally get each other one-on-one in a singles match. We've seen this rivalry build for weeks, but ladies and gentlemen, the MPWF champion heads to ringside first. Well, I mean, you talk about impressive. There is nothing more impressive than what we witnessed at bragging rights this past Sunday. At bragging rights, the Black Giant was taken out by Apollo. He was sent headfirst through the passenger seat glass window. And I mean, there was glass shards in his eyes. The question was the Black Giant be able to compete? The doctors said no. Tiffany said no. Tiffany made the match at bragging rights. Craig David versus Apollo for the MPWF Championship, but the Black Giant still showed. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, the Black Giant in fact retained his championship even after being assaulted before the match. The Black Giant, ladies and gentlemen, is certainly one of the toughest MPWF champions we have ever seen, no matter what you might think of this man. That's true, ladies and gentlemen. On this past episode of MPWF Superstars, it was announced there will be an MPWF Championship Scramble Match. The Black Giant will defend his championship against Tyrone Fitzgerald, Antonio Gorman, Craig David, and Apollo. I mean, it was an amazing feat we saw at bragging rights, the Black Giant surviving. And I mean, if you haven't watched bragging rights, make sure you go back and check out that event. It was amazing. It was one hell of a show. It was fantastic. A great Annihilation CPV. And that's true. Many thought that Apollo had finally stopped the Black Giant. The Black Giant has been attacked before. The Black Giant has never been stopped in the way that he was at bragging rights. I mean, never for that length of time has anybody been able to keep the Black Giant on the ground, and that's what we saw at bragging rights with Apollo. And now he calls Apollo out. The question is, will the protector of the MPWF show? And he does. And Apollo now running up ringside, and now both men now going at it. Apollo and the Black Giant now taking the fight to each other. These guys don't like each other one bit, and they're going fisticuff right now here on the outside of the ring. So the Black Giant is injured. As you can see, his right eye has been covered, and Apollo now just taking shots right at his face, and both these men trying to beat the hell out of each other. And this fight now continuing here, Apollo and the Black Giant now. I mean, what a way to kick off Annihilation here tonight in Victoria, Texas. I mean, White, look at the strength of Apollo as he slams the Black Giant to the ground. And the Black Giant is going to struggle to see. He can barely see out of that right eye. And there was a low blow by the Black Giant trying to fight back here against Apollo. And they're throwing him back down to ringside. And somebody's going to have to come out here and stop this fight soon. And the Black Giant with a kidney shot. And now he's grabbed Apollo around the waist. Oh wait, Apollo ducked a shot there. And now Apollo and STO taking down the Black Giant on the outside of the ring. And there's a referee who's trying to calm these two down, but there's not much a referee can do against two men of that size. Now Apollo sending the Black Giant into the steel steps, and now Apollo's got the steel steps. And the Black Giant getting up now, and Apollo with a shot to the face with the steel steps. Right, a huge impact there by Apollo, right to the eye of the Black Giant. And now he's got the Black Giant up, ladies and gentlemen. And oh my goodness, a double-handed choke slam there by Apollo, slamming the Black Giant into the steel steps. Now a chair shot right to the face, and you can see that eye is now already starting to bleed a little, and Apollo is in complete control right now. The Black Giant cannot see out of that right eye, and again he's being slammed face first onto his eye on the barricade, and Apollo has seemed to have found a weak spot of the Black Giant as he takes him down again. And this right here is shocking. Never before has anyone managed to stop the Black Giant in this way. I mean, before we've seen people knock the Black Giant down, but I mean, the Black Giant isn't fighting back at all. He's not even getting up. The Black Giant is a man who is made of resiliency. That is his strong suit, and Apollo has destroyed that right now. And I mean, some fans don't like Apollo for what he did at bragging rights, trying to get the match to be him versus Craig David by himself. Some fans commemorate Apollo for doing what he did, saying it was a good idea, saying he was just doing whatever it takes to be champion. I mean, many fans are on the fence with what happened, and now Apollo is still just continuing to beat the hell out of the Black Giant with the steel chair. I mean, I have never seen the Black Giant in this shape in my life. The Black Giant is unable to do anything, and again, Apollo slamming the Black Giant spine first on the steel steps, and Apollo knows he's in control right now. This is a vicious beatdown, which the Black Giant has not been able to recover from. And again, Apollo with that steel chair. Oh, what a shot there to the ribs. And now Apollo DDT. Look at that. Well-placed DDT. And landing on the head and the eye there. And now Apollo looking for some more weapons. And he pulls out a sledgehammer. And Apollo is trying to destroy the Black Giant. Trying to end the Black Giant before Starrcade. And I mean, both these men are going to be a part of that MPWF Championship Scramble. And there is still no officials except for the one guy, Marty McFly, who's inside the ring, who can't do anything to stop this whatsoever. Now Apollo picking up the steel steps again. And this is nothing more than a mugging right now by Apollo. As again, he just threw the steps on the face of the Black Giant. You can see the Black Giant struggling now. You can see him holding his head, and another shot to the face with the steps. And now Apollo going to throw the steps right on the kneecaps of the Black Giant. And the Black Giant is down, ladies and gentlemen. Never mind, the Black Giant getting up. The Black Giant is still trying to get up and still trying to fight Apollo here. We said to you before that the Black Giant can take masses of pain. His pain tolerance level is superbly high. But it to no avail as a shot to the face there by the Black Giant. And now Apollo may have just seriously busted open the Black Giant. As you can see the blood now all over the steel chair. And Apollo may have ended this one right here. Apollo may have this one over. And now look at this. Apollo, the back suplex on the outside of the ring. The Black Giant still is debilitated. Still can't see out of his eye. Busted open in his forehead. And Apollo may have destroyed the Black Giant here. Apollo may have destroyed the MPWF champion. And this is certainly a way I did not expect to start off Annihilation this week. And now the Black Giant in trouble as Apollo has him up for the sit-down powerbomb on the stage. And I think Apollo just sent a major message to the Black Giant and the MPWF roster. Apollo says that he's going to be the next MPWF champion, whether you people like it or not. I mean, Apollo, again, this is some people, in some senses, you got to agree with Apollo taking out the Black Giant, showing his dominance. But does he have to be this vicious? I don't know. I don't know what to take on that. That's up to the fans to decide what to think of Apollo, but Apollo has certainly gotten more vicious in these past couple weeks. I mean, Apollo is on a roll of epic proportions, and he takes on Craig David later tonight. But how about this, ladies and gentlemen? The World Tag Champions Cash Money Inc. will also defend their tag team titles against White Boy Fresh and Blue later this evening as well on Annihilation. Well, I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that White Boy Fresh and Blue are not two little runts. Are they smaller than the Avenger and Tyrone Fitzgerald? Yes. Are they cruiserweights? Yes. But they are not two little runts. They are very capable of winning the tag team titles tonight. And that's legendary Tyrone Fitzgerald. Make sure you remember that. Make sure you remember that you add that before you say his name. Legendary Tyrone Fitzgerald. Good God. That's true. Tyrone Fitzgerald has not been in a World Championship matchup since coming to YouTube. Tyrone Fitzgerald giving you some history lessons, some facts there. Well, I said Tyrone Fitzgerald seemed to forget about being tag champion. Wanted to think about MPWF Starrcade, where he'll be in the MPWF Championship Scramble. But ladies and gentlemen, let's head to ringside for our first contest of this evening. Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, with a member who is one half of Collaboration Zero, MXZ. Him and KJ Stevens picked up a huge victory in the dark match at MPWF Bragging Rights, a match that will be a part of the DVD release to Bragging Rights. Again, if you didn't watch this past CPP Bragging Rights, make sure you tune in and watch Bragging Rights. make sure you watch MPWF War, make sure you watch MPWF Superstars, and make sure you watch in 3 weeks time Starrcade. And remember, subscribe to the MPWF chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a friend, make sure you tell him about the MPWF or her. Ladies and gentlemen, this is time to make the MPWF become one of the greatest call leagues of all time, and MXZ is definitely a front runner in making that happen. MXZ, a young superstar who has a bright future ahead of him. As I said before, a member of Collaboration Zero. Him and KJ Stevens picked up huge victories at Bragging Rights. KJ fell short to David Otunga and Superstars, but MXZ is looking to change that tonight with a big victory here on Annihilation against a man who not very many people like at all. And here is MXZ's opponent, the current and reigning cruiserweight champion Hector Rodriguez, who has Whisper on at his side, and this is something that makes no sense to me whatsoever. So last week on episode 8 of Annihilation, the natural disasters took out Hector Rodriguez. White Boy Fresh came to his aid and helped him out. For months now, the cruiserweight division has been destroyed by the natural disasters, and finally we thought our cruiserweight champion was going to help the cruiserweights. He came out to a huge ovation to help White Boy Fresh at Bragging Rights defeat the natural disasters, and then after the match he helps him beat the hell out of White Boy Fresh. This makes absolutely zero sense. I have no idea what is going on in the mind of the young cruiserweight champion Hector Rodriguez, but this guy has no give for anybody else. He really has no heart at all. Hector Rodriguez, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely a sick man in the making. But ladies and gentlemen, we're heading for a break. When we return, Annihilation will continue.